Alright, I'm going to be talking about an interesting time in my life. It has a little bit to do with cooking, but actually mostly just with the appreciation of food and just with confidence overall. So, for those of you who don't know, because this is a relatively new channel, I did a 40-pound bulk over this past year. I went from a whopping 160 pounds at 6'1" to 6'1" to like 200 at 6'1". So it's quite a bit of weight gained, and it was necessary. Right now I'm down to like 183, 182, something like that. But over this past year, it's been a massive bulk, and the reason why that was necessary is because before that, I was very thin. I was very skinny. The highest weight that I've been at that point was 160, and if you look at like 160 and 6'1" at the BMI, it'll get you like 20 something, and people will say that's okay. If you ask Mark Ripito, he will kill you. Basically, 160 at 6'1" is like unheard of in the lifting community. That's like you really need to bulk at that point. And that was the highest weight that I had been in a while before this bulk, really seriously. And then obviously 200 pounds is like a more reasonable weight, so we no longer had these issues. But back then and back during these times of high school, I was very thin, and the main reason for that actually, what was it? Was it like fast metabolism? Was it magic? Was it the result of a prayer? No, I just didn't eat food. This should be obvious to anyone who knows anything about anything. If you don't eat food, you're not gonna gain weight. If you don't eat food, you're gonna stay pretty skinny. So my diet back then consisted of, when I was really trying to bulk, I would have a breakfast of like a couple of eggs and then some toast and then maybe an avocado, which is good, which is an amazing meal. Sometimes I would have that, sometimes I wouldn't have that. It was like 50-50 probably. And if I didn't have that, it would either be just some little like small pastry shit, which was very tasty, but was like horrendous for me. It was probably one of the reasons why I had so much acne, which is mostly gone now. And yeah, there was like a time when I had like a bit of cereal because I saw the Brendan Teets video about like how actually Cocoa Puffs are healthy. Come on, let's go powerlifting mode. My total back then was like, my powerlifting total was like well under 1,000 pounds, so I don't know what the fuck I was doing to justify that. But anyways, aside from that, like a good majority of days, I would have either something very small or just like skip the breakfast meal entirely. And nowadays people do that in like Grego Gallagher, Kino Body, Kino Meme. The best thing that ever happened to me was inheriting my parents' money. Yeah, people like that oftentimes do the intermittent fasting thing, especially if they don't have a job or if they don't have school. However, if you don't have, if you do have to go to school, or for sure, if you don't have a job, it's absolutely like vital that you have a meal before. Breakfast isn't like important fucking at all, just in of itself, but what is important is that it's your last time to have like a proper good meal in the house before you go out for the majority of your day. And so in that sense, it is an important meal because you need to give yourself energy for the rest of what you're doing. If you just stay in the house, who cares? If you work from home, who cares? You can like eat whenever. But for that reason, it is actually very important to eat something before you head out for school. For some reason, I never really felt like it. I knew I kind of needed to bulk, but I was always on the fence. And then I just fucking went to school, sometimes with food in me, sometimes not. And then in school, here's something I can rant about for a little bit. Let's get nice and settled in. The cafeteria food in American schools, and it's not an America exclusive thing, because I'm assuming pretty much everywhere in the world this is fucked, except for, it would seem, like Japan and like some parts of Western Europe. The cafeteria food is so shit, it's like shouldn't be legally classified as food. God forbid if you have to pay for it, good lord. Thankfully, here in LA, they passed something, I don't know, Michelle Obama moment, where like they made it free. So you can basically get like, I don't know if the school itself had enough money or the district itself, which is funny because right now LAUSD is going bankrupt. Nice. So it's free, but that should be the bare minimum, because in my humble opinion, it doesn't even legally qualify as food. It was usually like some slop on a fucking whole wheat sugar bun, and then the side was like a frozen fry that like wasn't cooked. It was like still half frozen or like half thawed in the middle. It was like absolutely horrendous. And understandably, here is my small piece of dark chocolate, which I will fucking enjoy. High value video, good education. This is why you clicked on this. So, understandably, I was pretty repulsed by that. And I didn't really want to actually eat the cafeteria food. A lot of people would. I don't know how they could. I think there's like maybe one time or like 2 times where I tried it kind of, or a couple of times where I tried it during my last few days during senior year of high school. I definitely did indulge in it a little bit. Indulge. It was like a fucking trial and tribulation almost. But I did like force myself to eat it somehow during my senior year, because then I was like, okay, fuck me, I'm doing Bull Mastiff by Alex Bromley. I'm gonna go for a 3-plate squat. And I barely, like, this medium-sized belt, I almost go through like the tightest settings, so like there's legitimately zero reason for me not to bulk. So come on, davai Vitalia, let's go. So then I actually did go ahead and take advantage of the cafeteria food a little bit, but aside from that, I just didn't. And the reason is, it was disgusting, and the main thing is that it smelled like shit, and it made you smell like shit, or at least that was my perception of it. It was like an autistic obsession. I've never been like formally diagnosed, but I definitely fall somewhere on that spectrum, not on the not on the neurotypical end, but essentially, like when you're autistic, the hyperfixations aren't always a superpower. Like they can sometimes just be something that fucking holds you back. Like it can be like you're really afraid of a texture, you're really like disgusted by a certain like sound or whatever the fuck. And cafeteria food was one of these things that I'm like, okay, absolutely not, no way in hell am I eating this. Until, again, sometime later on in senior year where I just grew up, and during the last month, and I just fucking ate what I could, because I knew I needed to go up in weight, because I was like, again, 6'1" and 160. All the good lifters at 160 who are like properly muscular are like 5'6", so they fill out their frame easier, but 160 pounds is just like not enough. Especially if you're like not even that low of body fat. Like I wasn't even that low of body fat back then, maybe like 13%. I'm debating whether it would be funny still to make a 1350 joke in 2026. I've decided on no. So, essentially, I would not have that food. I would not have that, the school lunch. I would often skip breakfast. I would come home, and I would absolutely fucking feast for dinner. That was a good thing. And it was relatively healthy stuff. Sometimes back then I would cook for myself, but honestly, during high school, I'm very, very grateful, because my mom oftentimes, well, when she could, because there was a time when she was working, but when she could, there was food at home, and like it's good because she knows how to cook. And so it was usually a bit, some big, like something, always something nutritious. So I would like eat a good amount of that, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm getting everything I need. In reality, that one meal that I was having couldn't have been over 2,000 calories, and with like the absolute maximum of like the 1,000 other calories that I was having fucking like at all other times throughout the day. That was a maximum of 3,000 calories when I was walking around all day, going to the gym, doing whatever the fuck. So it like wasn't enough. And we can get into like the fitness side of things, but right now I'm just going towards the happiness side of things. Life isn't very good when you don't have a lot of food. I learned this when I water cut from 183 to 169.4 in pounds. For an arm wrestling tournament, I went in left-handed only, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I can either compete in the 190, 198 class and just get completely molested, or I can go to the 176, where I can have a chance. And I was correct, because I won 2 of my matches and I lost 2 of my matches on the left hand there. So during that water cut, I dropped again from 183 pounds to 169.4 pounds in 3 days. Obviously, that's not going to be all fat. I did a bunch of water loading, cut out salt, and just like ate nothing. Practically nothing. I did end up having a bit of leeway, so I could eat a few things, because obviously the weight cutoff was 176. Now, that one day was so shit. And people fast as like a religious experience. People fast as like a nice meme. Like, oh, let me improve myself here, I'll fast. Or like, hey, let me show devotion to like whoever I pray to on this holiday. I'm gonna fast. It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be difficult, it's not how we're supposed to live, but I'm gonna do it anyways to show like dedication and conviction. You're not supposed to just not eat food. It's a very, very cherished ability that in modern civilization, we don't have to fucking starve. We can eat food. Now, I didn't exactly eat food. And when I think back to the number one reason that I didn't do this, it's actually so sad. Hold on, let me just get rid of this fucking... There we go. Let me just get the bathrobe out from under me. So, the reason why I didn't eat food is just because I was nervous of eating around others, and I was just intimidated by it. Mostly because, oh no, what if this makes me smell like shit? Which, like, that's well and good, but you need food to survive. And that didn't really register in my mind. And I don't know how much like heavier set I could have been. I don't know, like how much bigger my neck would just be like naturally. Obviously I'm not fucking coping because I'm training it and it's gonna get pretty developed. Like how much bigger my wrist could be, and ankles and shit like that, and just the frame in general. Just if I decided during those formative years, during those very, very important years, to just eat food like a fucking normal person. I had so much anxiety back then. It's about just like everything. It was really, really shit. And I'm not really complaining because it was like everyone can have anxiety. It's not like some fucking magical thing that just like gets bestowed upon you. If you have that, it's your responsibility to go ahead and fix it. But yeah, regardless of whose responsibility it is, there was so much just like mental turmoil and shit to where my food, like I sometimes wouldn't even fucking eat what I took to school. But what I took to school was like a couple of dates, some fucking nuts, and like a protein bar if I was feeling very, very fancy. It's not enough. It's not enough. And consistently, the days where I would bring more food, I would feel better. I just wouldn't pick up on the hint, bro. I would always have like some fucking, I don't know, like wrap from Trader Joe's, just the pre-made one. I mentioned Trader Joe's so much on this fucking channel. I promise there's no like secret obsession with the store. It's just a nice store, bro. But so I would always have something like that if I brought something larger. But that would be very, very rarely. And then I remember there was one week where I was home alone basically, and in that time I was super, super hyped because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna meal prep for myself and I'm gonna properly eat. And I made the Gamification of Life diet. If any of you know the channel Gamification of Life, it has like 1,000 subscribers, so it's pretty small. But they made a really good diet video where they like put in their diet into Chronometer, and they're like, okay, this is why it's good. This is why this is actually a good plan to follow and all that. And so it's basically, if I can remember it just by heart, the diet was tuna and seaweed, a protein shake, sweet potato and kangaroo, and honey. Obviously, I didn't have fucking kangaroo here in Los Angeles, so I just used like ground. It was ground pork even, and then fucking 6 eggs and rice, and that's the diet. And apparently, if you put all that into Chronometer, excuse me, which is like this macronutrient and micronutrient tracking app, then you get everything that you need on a daily basis. Sounded like First Man a little bit there. Everything that a man needs on a daily basis. So I would make that, and those were some of my happiest days, just simply because I had fucking food to look forward to. And it was such a, like, why couldn't I do that for the rest of the time, bro? It's fucking so sad. So not only is like there the health benefit of eating food, the energy level, because fuck me, my energy levels used to be so shit. I used to like slog through high school. High school is the maybe the single like worst use of time for when you're between the ages of 14 and 18. Like, out of things that you want to be doing at those ages, listening to some like divorced alcoholic abusive teacher telling you like, so actually Pythagorean identities, fuck me, like 1 plus cosine squared equals, I mean 1 plus tangent squared equals secant squared and all this bullshit, like, and then you're like, the teacher gets like taken away by the police for some weird unknown reason, and then all the like kids say, yeah, he touched me, and it's like, what, who are we hiring to fucking teach these? It's anyways, that's a whole different topic that's not food related. But just for the food, the food that the high school provides, it's like just end your life. Like, if, man, it's so shit. If you live in like, I don't know how true this is, but like the meme is, the stereotype is that school food in Japan is like goated, is just very, very good. If you live there and that's true, or like any of these places that seem to actually care about their citizens, like Australia. Okay, I may be talking out of my ass because I haven't been to either of these places, but it just sounds like a better setup for the school food, in specific, because cafeteria food, like, I would rather just be a monk and like fast and then like self-immolate once I run out of food than fucking eat cafeteria food. Obviously, if the apocalypse occurs and there's only cafeteria food, then I'm not actually gonna do that, because we have to keep on living no matter what. We have to fucking lift on Struggler. But just to illustrate the point, cafeteria food is so shit. It's so bad. And so if that's the only thing that's like offered at the school, then you have to take stuff from home. But I never ever decided to meal prep for myself, except for that one day, or that 1 week. It was more than one day. It was that 1 week, or maybe just a few days. I don't know. Like, it was during one school week when I decided that to meal prep for myself, and it was like fucking. It was really fun. It was super fun. I had so much more energy because I was eating, and there was just not any of this bullshit. So that was, I mean, that's just kind of a yap story. If there's a lesson there for you to learn from, I mean, it literally is just treat yourself first. And the way I got out of that, by the way, I went on so I was like afraid, because like, oh no, what if I eat food in front of other people and it's disgusting, and like I'm gross, and then I smell like shit, and then everything. Which, if you're like a normal person, that this is gonna sound like, what the fuck is this kid on about? But if you can relate to me, whether through like autism or like just ADHD or whatever, you'll be like, yeah, or like OCD, like actual OCD, not the fucking I want to organize shit. Then you'll be like, okay, this is relatable. This is wholesome, relatable, Chungus. Grown man saying this sentence, by the way. So, the way I got out of that was I just did a hard 180 to where, like, I was in good company in my dorm in college. There were like 2 girls over, a bunch of guys. We were talking about something like, yeah, sure, okay, wait 1 sec. I went into my room, I got some raw garlic. I went back, I swear, I have the video. I'm not gonna edit it over because it's too much work. But I have the video. I literally just like eat raw garlic, just like in good company. And it was like funny. Like it was like it's funny because obviously garlic is gonna smell like it's gonna have a very potent stench, and it's like a funny joke. Like people don't actually care. People do care if you're not self-aware about it and you're just like a disgust like, and if you're just like, I don't know, you're just going out in the world like, and you just open a tin of like fucking surströmming and I don't know, just like pickled herring, you're just like fucking eating that in the middle of a press conference, obviously. But if it's like a meme, like once that guy's let me get some raw garlic and it's like it's funny for everyone, um, that's completely fine, man. And you begin to see that people don't actually care, especially if you eat some normal fucking white people food which doesn't even have a strong odor. Like worst case scenario, you're like, let's say you're Pakistani and your mom packs you some like lentil curry or something, like dal, and then you open it and it has like a strong smell for like 5 seconds, and people in the classroom, I don't know, because they're a little bit racist, they look at you and they like, ha ha ha, Indian lol, even though you're not even Indian. Cool. So, first of all, they're stuck with their fucking like white bread, which is gonna give them all diabetes. Second of all, you have delicious food in front of you. Who the fuck care? Like, okay, so if people can smell it for like 5 seconds when you like open the container, I know. Okay, that's not the audience. This is probably not the audience that needs to hear it because every single one of my Indian friends has been like completely fucking fine with it and just like showing everyone up. So that's maybe the other end of the spectrum, but just an example that prioritize yourself first. Don't literally starve yourself just so you can make other people feel like less uncomfortable. Like fuck other people, genuinely. Who who cares? Eat your food. Eat your food. Motherfucker, it's your prerogative. It's your right as a human. Look at someone who's like an absolute Chad. Um let's take Devin Lair. Devin Lair is the easiest example who always comes to mind. He will be sitting there, probably not having showered in like a week, and then he'll just like randomly open and like start eating a box of boiled eggs. How the fuck do you think that smells in the middle of the enclosed space? Does he care? No, because he's cutting to 105 kilos for Oleg Petrenka, so he can say nie zdawaj się, fuck, nie zdawaj się, chłopczyk, and then he can like crack his wrist back. He needs to have his hard-boiled eggs. Who cares? You need to act the same way. Like, okay, you have food, eat the food. Or if you don't have food, make the food. That's what cooking is for. Anyways, this is for a very, very specific demographic, but if it reached you at all, I'm very glad because this definitely used to plague me for a little bit. Man, eat food. It's so important. Thank you.